All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Simply Cyber's First Things First, kind of coming in hot here. I just had an opportunity to be interviewed for Ask a CISO podcast with two wonderful individuals. That'll be coming out in February, but I, I didn't have my First Things First set up fully in place. I had to go get another cup of coffee because, priorities. But we are ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I might go off again. Hey, let me get BSEC. Can I get a thumbs up or something for an audio check as well? Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Adam. What's up, Wisconsin? How cold is it there, Adam? I have to imagine it's got to be kind of cold. I'm in the South and it's cold. Hey, Isaiah. No, it's all good, man. Very good. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate that. Dr. Joseph, love seeing you in the chats all morning, or every morning, all morning. Ooh, 1 degree. Oh man, Kimberly, we got another rush delivery of Florida sun to go to to go to Wisconsin. Yikes. New Hampshire, love it, love it. I am from the New England area originally, so I know what's up. David O'Neill, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute, friend. This is Simply Cyber's Cybersecurity Morning Threat Briefing, aka First Things First. We are going to be following the news stories from CISOseries.com. So if you want to play along, consider checking it out. I listen to it every day. We're going to run through the stories. I'm going to give my professional opinion on each story and how you might be able to operationalize it in your environment or use it to impress the crap out of an interviewer on your journey into breaking into cybersecurity. Chilly Miami, Kristen. Okay, what's the temperature? Give me, Kimberly or Kristen, what is the temperature in chilly Miami? I need to know. I need to know. All right, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. -2. Oh boy. All right, guys. Good to see you, Pamela. Good to see you, Pamela. All right, Western North Carolina, I see you. So I'll be doing this Thursday is at noon. So school starts or whatever. My teaching assignments start on Thursday this week. So Thursday will be noon, and we'll figure it out together as a community whether or not we're doing Tuesday, Thursdays at noon or every day at noon. But we will, as far as I can, if I can help it, we will be doing daily cybersecurity threat briefings because that's how we roll. Low 70s. Oh my gosh, that's like shirt weather. Okay, let's get into the headlines of the days.
Series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
It's Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Open source developer poisons his own well. The developer of the NPM libraries Colors and Faker, Merrick Squires, intentionally introduced an infinite loop that caused the libraries to generate garbage text, effectively breaking apps using them. Colors and Faker are used by 19,000 and 2,500 projects on GitHub, respectively. Squires previously said he would no longer support large companies using his free work on the libraries. GitHub suspended his account and reverted to previous versions of the libraries. Many users initially thought the libraries had been compromised before the developer posted a mocking bug report about the issues.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know if you guys caught that. NPM is used quite a bit. The lead developer, at first I thought it was an accident, and I was going to tell you, hey, this is why you test code before you push it to production in order to find out if it's going to have operational impact. As the story went on, I don't know if you guys heard, but basically this is like, bookmark this, like I'm going to bookmark it, bookmark this, because this is what sounds like a perfect example of hacktivism. We don't see hacktivism quite often because, cyber criminal activity is way more rampant. But hacktivism is where you basically, it's not about finances. It's more about ideology. And what it sounds like is the lead developer or one of them from NPM is sick and tired of companies leveraging the open source solution in order to make a product that they then sell and make money off of, right? You get something like Log4j where those 3 volunteer devs are getting raked over the coals because of a bug from 2016 or something like that. So this individual basically said, screw it, I'm going to introduce a problem basically that's going to wreck production. I hope it was worth it. His GitHub account got frozen, and they reverted back to an old version. I'm sure you can get a new GitHub, but interesting. This is definitely an example of what I would call hacktivism.
Hacker group Pwns. Sometimes even threat actors have a bad day at the office. The Indian threat group Patchwork has been active since 2015, known for deploying remote access Trojans to exfiltrate data and other malicious activities, including recently hitting individual faculty members from biomedical research institutions. However, researchers at Malwarebytes discovered the group infected itself with its own Trojan, resulting in captured keystrokes and screenshots of their own computers and virtual machines. The researchers were able to see how specifically the team's malware worked, as well as targets within the Pakistani government, even what version of Java they were running when the malware was compiled.
Listen, interns are real people too, okay? For 74 cents a day, you can help an intern. That's probably what they're blaming here. But listen, you got to be careful, man. A knife, you can use a knife to cut a steak or cut a rope or cut someone. You can use a knife to cut yourself. You got to respect it. Exactly, BSEC. It's Carl. So these guys, I almost want to call them donkeys, like literally infected themselves, which resulted in having security researchers be able to kind of use the tooling itself. Now, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I am fair. They may have been working on developing new tooling, trying to expand the modules that are available in this remote access Trojan. And perhaps they forgot to wipe the machine or clear it or anything like that. It may not have just been an accidental shooting yourself in the foot. It could have been intentional. But at the end of the day, their OPSEC is totally blown, right? These guys, we talk about the pyramid of pain, right? TTPs at the top. These guys basically took the TTPs, put it in a package, put a bow around it, and then handed it to the defensive side of the community and said, here you go. So tough day for these guys. A win for the good guys, though. So I appreciate that.
Microsoft finds MCC Bypass Vulnerability in macOS. The Microsoft 360 Defender research team detailed a vulnerability called Power DIR, which could bypass sensitive data protections Apple has set up in macOS under its transparency, consent, and control stack. This uses a specially crafted TCC database that would allow the attackers to access protected data, including storing the consent history of app requests. This could theoretically open the door to accessing microphone and video feeds. Microsoft disclosed the vulnerability to Apple on July 15, 2021, with Apple releasing a patch for it on December 13th. Apple's documentation said this was a logic issue, which was resolved with improved state management.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a couple things here. One, it sounds like, just patch your stuff and be aware. It sounds like it could be used for spyware, could be used for creepware, could be used for espionage. I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I'm really confused how this works, right? Like there's a Microsoft bug which gives you access to macOS user data. Like what? Where? Like is it the Mac Office apps? Is it like it's not Microsoft Windows? Like this story is interesting because I don't understand how Microsoft gets involved with it, right? Ooh, look at this. We got some nice ASCII art. Okay, so Microsoft Teams. Okay, so this makes a little bit more sense. So they're exploiting Microsoft apps to be able to access subsystems of a Mac OS computer. Okay. No longer worked on the latest version of Monterey. So basically update to Monterey and you'll be okay. Interesting. This is a good opportunity. You'd have to clean this up a little bit to be able to be digestible by the business side. This is an opportunity, people, to flag this one as why, like, when people are like, "Oh, I own an Apple, it's unhackable," or like macOS, it's not, it doesn't have bugs or whatever. Like, first of all, Patrick Wardle, if you guys don't know about him over at Objective C in Jamf, like that guy is a treasure for our community. He does all Apple vulnerability stuff, so he's good. Patrick Wardle, great speaker as well. But like, this is a common thing. If you guys don't know this, okay, this is a common thing. We are a Windows shop. Everybody gets Windows. No exceptions, except the CEO. He wants an Apple. He gets an Apple. Or the CFO likes iPads. We're going to get him an iPad, right? So the most VIP people in your organization get exceptions to the rules, if you will, right? And, whatever, it's their business. They can do that. But you got to account for it. This is a great opportunity. Like I said, if you sent this to the CEO, they're going to delete it and probably ask you not to email them anymore. But if you take this message and kind of bundle it up, and you can use it as, hey, like, Apple introduces a additional attack surface that we need to protect for, because these are real attacks that are really happening. Okay, that's what's up with that.
Crypto miners are evidently just an antivirus thing now.
Oh boy. Hold on, guys. Whew. All right. Whew. If this is going to be anything like what happened with Norton yesterday, I need a minute. Okay, here we go.
Covered some of the fallout from Norton's integration of a crypto miner into its antivirus suite. But the Register points out that the German antivirus solution Avira also offers an opt-in Avira crypto feature, which mines Ethereum when activated. Norton LifeLock acquired Avira in early 2021, so it's not too surprising to see corporate crypto synergy. Interestingly, Norton LifeLock also recently acquired the antivirus company Avast, which started labeling all crypto mining products as malware in its scanner back in 2018. And now...
Okay. Here we go, people. Listen, this is an example of another company that started doing crypto mining under the auspices that they were an antivirus provider. And yeah, you have to opt in, but I bet you it's one of those ones where it's like, the checkbox is already completed. It's like a bunch of things, and it probably says something like, "Hey, would you like your computer to make you money while you don't do anything?" Like, completely marketed, completely sold. The fact that Norton bought them probably means that Avira probably positioned themselves as like, "Hey, listen, we're an AV company, but that just means that everyone's going to install us, and then we're going to mine the crap out of some digital currency. You want a piece of this?" And Norton's like, "Hell yeah, I want a piece of that." So they all got on board. This is disgusting and deplorable. And the fact that some executives were in some boardroom and they're like, "You're never going to believe it. You guys remember that SETI at Home project and how awesome people were for wanting to do that for the greater good? Let's do that, except we'll have them make us money and we'll give them a little taste so it feels like we're not being scumbags." No, like, how about you just install a crypto miner and sell that product so people know what they're doing? For Christ's sakes. Disgusting.
Sponsor, BlackBerry. Half of SMEs hit with breaches. According to a survey by the insurance firm Markel Direct, 51% of SMEs and self-employed individuals in the UK experienced a cybersecurity breach. Of these, 24% were the result of malware, 16% from data leaks, and 50% from phishing. 88% of respondents said they had at least one form of cybersecurity solution in place, with 70% reporting feeling confident about their security posture. 11% of respondents said they did not intend to increase spend on cybersecurity measures, seeing them as unnecessary costs. 68% of respondents found that the cost of mitigating these breaches exceeded £5,000.
Wow. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack here, guys. Okay, so a bunch of things. One, this is a UK study, but I would argue that this is representative of the macro ecosystem, okay? SME stands for small and medium enterprise. These people are in this teenage wasteland of they don't have enough funding to actually properly hire staff and buy the right technologies and stuff like that in order to secure it. So what they end up doing is they have a network engineer and they say, "Hey, guess what, network engineer? You're also you're IT security now, or your information security, or cybersecurity. Good luck." Like, the fact that over half is not surprising. I would think it would be much higher, frankly, like 90% or higher, have suffered a breach. Now, like, define breach too. Does that mean data exfiltrated? Does that mean suffered a ransomware? Or does that just mean an end user fell for a fish? Because if it is, it's probably closer to 100%. These poor people, like, again, it's all about financials. You heard in the story, they said most of them, 88% have one technology, right? Which I looked at it, it said AV, firewall, or MFA, right? Like, defense in depth is a thing, people. If you don't know what you're talking about and you think buying one solution protects you, like, call me. Let's have a conversation. Let's get a cup of coffee, because like, that's not going to cut it. Yeah, you reduce some of the risk, but dude, seriously, AV, if you're running a signature based AV and you think you're all set, you're not. Furthermore, you're probably mining crypto for a Vera. So really, you need to know what's going on. This market is unfortunately terribly understaffed, undermanned. And another thing is that bad guys are multiplying. Ransomware as a service is a whole thing. And as Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies invest heavily in cybersecurity, right? Especially the financial services. You know what's easier? Listen to this. If you're in a parking lot and the doors are locked on half the cars, you know what you do? You go to the cars where the doors are unlocked. You don't go, burn a 0-day code hanger to like figure out how to like pick the lock on the car that's locked. You just go to the easier target. It doesn't matter. The money is still green, at least in the United States, at the locked car and the unlocked car. So I'm not surprised. You hear this story every year. SMEs are getting screwed. That's all there is to it. I'm feeling spicy today, people. Give me some spice. Spicy! Yeah.
Europol must review and delete up to 4 petabytes of data. The European Data Protection Supervisor ordered Europol to delete personal data obtained by national police authorities in criminal investigations that's been held for more than 6 months. According to documents seen by The Guardian, Europol currently stores about 4 petabytes of personal data gathered over the past 6 years. The regulator gave Europol 1 year to determine what data can be lawfully kept. A 2019 report found Europol did not have checks in place to see if datasets shared by police verified if people listed should have data retained. Some EU residents attempted to contact Europol to obtain and delete old data, but were told there was no data that they were entitled to have access to stored by the law enforcement agency.
All right. This story is a quick one. Who watches the watchers? That's what this story is about. The people who are empowered to regulate, enforce law, be the oversight, be the governance, be the watch, they need to be checked too, right? Like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And if you give people total power, I don't care how altruistic there are, it will get ugly quickly. So I'm glad, I'm glad that they're being held accountable, whether or not it's deleting this personal data. Like, to me, when you're deleting data or doing, data retention and stuff like that, it really depends. Like, is there a need to keep this data, or are you just amassing a massive stockpile of data for some application in the future? Right? If that's the case, get rid of it. If it is not the case, then yeah, keep it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like, it gets into the nuances of our field, but like, it's all about what are the requirements? Why are you holding it? How, like answer the questions, and don't get like pissy if like it feels invasive. Like, people have a right to understand. You don't have to release the data, but you can at least explain why you need to retain it, bro. Okay, let's keep going.
Panasonic shares more details from recent breach. Panasonic confirmed that threat actors breached its systems back on November 26th. At that time, it was unable to say if any sensitive information was accessed, but said it did go on for a while through June 22nd through November 3rd. However, late last week, the company confirmed that personal data on some job applicants and interns were accessed during the incident.
Carl.
Panasonic said it's in the process of contacting those impacted, which may be particularly galling for those that didn't even get the job.
Yeah. I forgot Panasonic was around. Like, that's terrible. But yeah, guys, this is garden variety commodity security incident, right? Panasonic got hacked. My suspicion is that the hackers were not after job candidates' personal data. Someone probably just got in and just did a data exfil to figure out what they could get, maybe sell it on the black market for some cash or whatever, maybe sell some data. I'm trying to look really quickly. Business related information. Yeah. I mean, I could see maybe some intellectual property at Panasonic. They do develop electronics and stuff like that. It says the November data breach hit Panasonic months after the company's Indian subsidiary fell to a ransomware attack. So, it's possible, one of those kind of chained attacks where they did the ransomware, but they do like basically ransomware operators will exfil all the data before they ransomware it. That way they can, if you refuse to pay the ransom, they can at least try to sell the data and get something for their efforts. The ransomware operators are people too, right? They put in the time and effort. They need to get paid. They have mouths to feed. I'm being sarcastic. Obviously, I don't want that. Soundbite cut. Okay, here we go. Keep on rolling.
Chip shortage claims another victim. The ongoing semiconductor shortage has had a number of knock-on effects, with everything from cars to consumer electronics in short supply as a result. Now, another enterprise staple is being disrupted, the toner cartridge. HP, Canon, Lexmark, and other printer makers have long required chip-enabled cartridges, which can enhance the quality and performance for the best customer experience and also, coincidentally, maintain a recurring revenue stream for the first-party vendor. However, due to the chip shortage, Canon's German support site now says that the company will supply toner cartridges without these chips that report low toner levels. To get around error messages when inserting a chipless toner cartridge, users could just click through the message and print normally with no negative impact on print quality. This seems limited to the Image Runner large office printers for now. Thanks.
Okay, so real quick, I want to tell you something, okay? Because the deal is, first I'll address the story, then I'll address a bigger problem that's going on in the industry that is more IT than security, but it still pisses me off enough that I want to share it with y'all. Listen, the chip shortage, it's a thing. And they're basically saying Canon has enabled their printers so you can click through. Normally there would be like a toner check that would prevent you from doing stuff. So they're telling you how to defeat their data rights management. Okay, cool. Way to go, Canon, for not like alienating your customer base by having some gate they have to pass through that they won't be able to because of some chip shortage. Let's take a minute and back up for a second. Okay, this really annoys me. Okay, printer companies, because you guys know how expensive toner cartridges are. They're like $45 a cartridge. They put the chips in there. So if you're like low on like one of the color, red, blue, green or whatever, like you're low on one of those, like it won't print. Please replace toner cartridge, even though you could just print in black. No, like sometimes that's the case. Sometimes if you put in like a knockoff, like an Amazon brand toner cartridge that's not the official Canon one, so it doesn't have the chip in it and like the DRM codes, the printer won't print, right? So they're like, nope, it's got to be official Canon. Please enjoy your $45 toner cartridge, even though you bought an Amazon Basics for $8 that does the same thing. This is something that the printer companies have done. I feel like some like tinfoil hat conspiracy guy talking about something so silly as printers, but the printer companies have done this for years now. Because it's all about revenue, right? And they started doing this. They've all done it. And the whole thing is to prevent you from buying knockoff toner cartridges at a discounted price. And it really bothers me because it's like, just make cheaper toner cartridges, Canon. Like free market, competitive pricing. Instead, no, we're going to put DRM so you can't use it. Haha, LOL, right? So whatever. It's annoying. I do, guys, maybe I should get up every morning at 6:30 and drink a full pot of coffee, do a podcast, and then come on, because I am extra spicy this morning. Okay, so let us dig in. Guys, I want to remind everybody that this Thursday, January 13th, not only are we having a noon viewing of Simply Cyber's First Things First, but we are having Mike Jones, the haunted hacker, really cool guy, come on to the live stream and talk about his experience of having to basically start over in the industry, how he did it, what he's been up to, and his real story. It's a good time. It's a good time. This has been First Things First. I'll check out chat in a minute. If you guys are getting value, thank you so much. I love doing this news program with y'all every morning and seeing the same people in here. You guys are wonderful. If you want, share this with someone else in your social network who might enjoy and get value out of it. It's really designed for anyone, people who are looking to learn more about the field or people who are practicing, who need to basically know what's going on so you can go into work that day and kick butt and just dominate the space. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. for another First Things First. Y'all be good, and we will talk soon. Cheers.